The constant search for knowledge, comfort, and ease has pushed humans to discovery and invention. Technology, a means through which life is made easier, has given man an edge over his environment and considerable control over what happens around him. From the first wave of the Industrial Revolution in the early 17th century to the current wildfire technological boom, the world is being gradually, but surely, steered to a point where humans can do anything just by a wave of their fingers. Join us as we take you on a ride through the fourth wave of the Industrial Revolution in this video. We will highlight certain milestone achievements and breakthroughs in the world of technology-based industries. We'll also look at the foreseeable future of industry-based technology in the world. But before we go into today's video, thank you for choosing to watch our amazing channel. Do well to subscribe to our channel, punch the thumbs up button, and leave your thoughts in the comment section. Let's begin. Change is constant, and innovation is part of human life. From time immemorial, humans have been seeking ways to better their standard of living, increase comfort, and better commune and conquer their environment. The Fourth Industrial Revolution, also called 4IR or Industry 4.0, is a buildup of different revolutions beginning from the First Industrial Revolution of 1760. The term was coined by the founder of the World Economic Forum, former Professor Klaus Schwab. The professor wrote a book with that title to describe an era marked by a technological revolution that has blurred the lines between the physical, digital, and the biological spheres. There are a lot of aspects, areas, and concepts that are attached to this monumental change, but what makes this revolution unique is that it is almost fusing itself with the day-to-day lives of humans. To understand the 4IR, we must first cast our minds back to the first, second, and third industrial revolutions. This is the first of all industrial revolutions, and it set the pace for an even better and more automated technological transition. The first industrial revolution is marked by a transition to new production processes confined in Great Britain, continental Europe, and the United States of America. The colossal and rather phenomenal change in the manufacturing process spanned from 1760 to 1830. The resolution featured a drastic move from a production done manually to the mechanization of production procedures. This evolution included moving from hand production methods to machines, new chemical manufacturing and iron production processes, the increasing use of steam power and water power, the development of machine tools, and the rise of the mechanized factory system. However, the good this revolution brought, it came with its cons. One of the many negative sides of this technological move was increased unemployment. Machines replaced manual processes and required only people that have been trained to operate them. Therefore, a good number of people were rendered without jobs. Another negative part of this revolution was the environmental population from the gases released from the steam engines and other machines used for manufacturing products. Although this revolution was greatly criticized, it had come to stay, leaving people with no choice but to live with the reality. The first industrial revolution created an avenue for even more technological expansion and growth. The second industrial revolution began in late 1800. It was marked by mass production and the invention of new industries like steel, oil, and electricity. This era recorded major milestones like the light bulb, telephone, and internal combustion engines. This era showed us a new part of the world that was hitherto closed to us. The revolution transcends manufacturing goods into the aspects of household use. The light bulb, telephone, and combustion engines gave domestic users first-hand experience of the comforts that technology has to offer outside production of goods. Gradually, technology was gaining ground and finding its way into our homes. This revolution is also known as the digital revolution. This revolution took place in the late 1960s. The vast breakthrough in technology, especially the development of digital-based technology, occurred within this era. In just a few decades, we saw the invention of the semiconductor, the personal computer, and of course, the internet. The third revolution arguably changed the trajectory of things and laid the foundation for the current industrial revolution. New waves of scientific research facilitated by the internet and personal computers began, setting the pace for what has now come to be known as Industrial Revolution 4.0. It would interest you to know that the Fourth Industrial Revolution is a marvelous fusion of technologies. Imagine a world where primary and secondary production is done by intelligent machines. Well, you don't have to imagine it because that is what we have now. The exponential growth of technological advances is merging the physical, digital, and biological worlds in ways that just decades ago were only possible in science fiction movies. What used to be a figment of the writers' and the scientists' imagination has now been brought to life, with even more sophisticated changes. Industry 4.0 is a streamlining of the past industrial revolutions, birthing a world that has become a global village. This revolution, unlike the previous ones, has changed the face of every sector in the world. In fact, human lives are invariably linked to the technological advances that this revolution has brought, and there is no telling what we are to expect next. Gene editing, new forms of machine intelligence, robotics, 3D printing, nanotechnology, and technology such as blockchain and smart materials are exponentially changing the way we live with and relate to one another. This revolution has found its way into every sector of the world. From digital money, social media, and AI-produced goods, amongst others, tech is rapidly taking over the work. Now, according to Bernard Marr, renowned author and speaker on business, technology, and big data, the question is not if Industry 4.0 is coming, but rather how quickly it will arrive. Bernard suspects, as with big data, that the early adopters will be rewarded for their courage in jumping into these relatively new technologies, and those who avoid change risk becoming irrelevant and left behind. The beautiful and fascinating thing about this revolution is that we cannot comprehend its nature and its movement. There is no limit to what we can achieve with this technology, and scary as it may sound, it's still growing. Industry 4.0 has four major effects on the business side of things. The first is that it will affect the customer's expectations. What this means is that you get to create a more aware and more customer base than the former way things were done. With technologies like smartphones containing limitless connecting procedures and the Internet of Things, you are sure to reach a whole lot of potential customers by the second. Another effect is on the product. Apart from the fact that mass production would be done almost at the speed of light, the products themselves would be fundamentally enhanced. This enhancement borders on health, wealth, and life, the basic and most important parts of human existence. Klaus Schwab says, physical products and services, moreover, can now be enhanced with digital capabilities that increase their value. New technologies make assets more durable and resilient, while data and analytics are transforming how they are maintained. Collaborative innovation is another effect the 4IR would have on business. Suffice to say that people can now come together to invent technologies that would change the face of the world. We saw this with Google, Apple, Amazon, Facebook, and other collaborative innovations in different sectors of the world. This would not only create more tech-based products, but again, would enhance connectivity, social directing, and rapid global growth. And the last effect is on the organizational form. The world, through this revolution, is moving towards virtual directions where things are done, structures organized, and patterns formed by certain monumental technologies. We have seen these, but the best is yet to come. As fascinating and great as this revolution is, there are a great many downsides to it. Well, people may not know it yet, but gradually our lives are being ruled by our phones, laptops, the internet, and other advanced technology. Everything is automated, happening so fast that we do not have the chance to stop and think. And this is not all. Global warming and environmental degradation are other negative sides of this technology. While there are technologies to tackle certain supposedly natural phenomena, what of the resultant effect of tampering with the natural order of things, diseases, and illnesses, most of which are currently incurable? Widespread nuclear weaponry is another downside of this revolution. Technology has given us the capacity to restructure, remake, and reshape reality in such a way that anything, including weapons, can destroy the world. And there is no telling the caliber of weapons that are being produced, nuclear weapons, viruses, and the likes. However, what we are to expect in the foreseeable future is a world where 80% of things are run by artificial intelligence, and the world becomes a single community connected by vast algorithms. With the fourth wave of the Industrial Revolution, there is no telling where the lines between impossible and possible will be drawn. That is all we can take on today's video. Do tell us what you think about the fourth Industrial Revolution and its impact on everyday living in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to get more details, insights, and facts bordering on history, geography, politics, and economics. See you in the next video.